Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today, for today's Budget Wednesday video, oh my god, I can't talk. I'm going to be discussing with you my opinions on Dave Ramsey. Now, Dave Ramsey is a financial advisor that has a course, a very specific program to help people get out of debt, and it is hugely popular. He has helped hundreds of thousands of people, and I'm sure you've already heard of him if you've clicked on this video, or you're at least looking into him if you've clicked on this video. But you can find a million kind of videos and vlogs from his students or from his university, and information online about what he does. The information is out there, but I just wanted to discuss with you the pros and cons, because everyone's kind of debt journey is completely individual, and I do use some of Dave Ramsey's methods, but not all of them. So I just wanted to share my opinion on you. So today's video is literally my opinion on what techniques you should adopt from Dave Ramsey and what techniques you shouldn't adopt from Dave Ramsey. So let's just get straight on into it. So the things that you should adopt, the things that will help you get out of debt, are really simple. So the first Dave Ramsey technique you should adopt is to save first, to get your emergency fund. And this is baby step number 1 in his practice, I believe. And basically what it is he says to save £1,000 or at least 1 month's salary before you start paying off your debt in bulk. So you just continue paying your minimum payments, but you save £1,000 or your monthly salary before you start kind of making bulk payments. And the reason he tells you to do this, and I do completely understand, and the reason why I think you should adopt it, is purely because shit happens like every single month. I don't think there has been one month in my life where something hasn't cropped up where I've had to kind of pay out for it. If you are paying off your debt, seriously paying off your debt, then it is very hard when things go wrong because you haven't got any money left. You can literally be on a budget, scrimping and saving, paying off absolutely everything, and a car tire like goes and you need to pay for a car tire, and you're like, crap, how am I going to pay for that? Like, I have no spare money. Okay, I have to use my credit card. I'm going to have to get further in debt. Whereas if you had an emergency fund, you could pay for incidents like that. So I always think it is best for you to save first. Always be saving, because shit happens and it just makes sense to do so. And I would say personally, how I do it, if I've had to dip into my emergency fund, the following month I will pay back what I owe to my emergency fund. Seriously, cat. I will pay back what I owe to my emergency fund out of what I would be paying to my credit card, so that emergency fund is always at a level figure. If, for instance, say my personal emergency fund is £3,000, if I have to kind of pay £200 out for something, and the following month I get paid, I will literally put, the first thing I will do is put that £200 back in my emergency fund, so it's at £3,000, and then go and start paying off credit cards and debts and loans and things. So it's just, it gets you out of trouble, and you need that to obviously be happy, but also be stress-free and kind of keep the momentum up on this subject. The second one, and it's baby step number 2, well, baby step number 2 in Dave Ramsey, is to pay off all of your debt. And the method he suggests personally is called the snowball method. And what that means is you pay off your lowest debt first. So you pay, say if you've got 5 debts, and you pay, I'm going to see if I can get a graphic of it. But if you have 5 debts and you pay, and you put them in order of how much you owe to someone, and you pay minimum payment on 1 to 4, and you bulk pay as much as possible on number 5, when number 5 is gone, you then work up to number 4, and you pay minimum payment on 1, 2 and 3, and put all your money to number 4, and vice versa. So it will get to the point where you can bulk pay more off, because you're so used to paying everything you've got to your credit cards, and it just means that they go down quicker. And also, it's really motivating when you can kind of cross one of your debts off, or one of your credit cards off of your list, to say, actually, I've paid that off, and then you move on to the next one and you're like, yeah, I can do this because I've done it already once. And then it just keeps on going, you get more and more motivated, and it's absolutely amazing. And the third Dave Ramsey tip I would suggest, and I think this is like baby step number 6 or 7 on the list, and that is to invest into your retirement fund as early as possible. So he suggests once you've paid off all of your debt and paid off, saved your money, done other things. I think he kind of says about children. Well, I understand he says about children and things like that as well. like say for their college funds and things, and obviously that is very, very personal to you, but I would say investing in your retirement is more important than saving for your child's future. And that might sound really, really fucking awful. However, if when you retire, if you're not going to have a source of income unless you invest into that as soon as possible. And there was a figure in a book I read about 100 ways to make money, and I will leave the link for the book review down below. However, it basically said the same amount of people, these two people, one started investing when they were 18 and putting the money away, one started investing when they were 30, and by the end of it, the guy who started when he was 30 started putting more money in than the guy who started when he was 18. And at the end of, like, when they were both 65, the guy who started at 18 years paying the less amount of money actually had more through compound interest. So it just shows that it pays off to invest early, invest in yourself as early as possible. There are various different schemes for it. Personally, I would invest in stocks because it's something that's always going to be around and always actually going to grow in interest slowly. But there are a million ways that you can actually invest for your retirement. And I'm not saying invest hundreds of pounds every single month. I'm saying at least invest something, because if you invest something when you get old, and the state pensions, for instance, I don't think our state pensions are going to be much when I get to 65. So when the state pensions come in, everyone complains. If you speak to any old person, they say it's never enough money to live. And actually, I think that's quite true. And the expense of living is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So investing early and making sure that you're okay, because it sounds awful. When you are 65, you're still going to have your kids to look after. And if you can't look after yourself, you cannot look after your children. So start investing in your retirement as early as possible. So that was a little bit of a ramble. That is everything I think you should adopt from Dave Ramsey techniques. There are two things I'm going to talk to you about now that I think you should just push aside for the moment. Not entirely, just for the moment. And the first one is to pay off your home. So baby step number 3, I believe. So it goes save first, snowball and pay off all your debts. Baby step number 3 is to pay off your house. And like I just mentioned and I rambled on about retirement, I do not think paying your house off is a huge must. Now don't get me wrong, if your mortgage is stupidly high, it may be worth something to do. However, I do think you should still be kind of saving for retirement before you start thinking about paying your house off, because you're so used to paying those monthly payments to your house that you have got the flexibility to save for your retirement. Your loan for your house is a fixed contract. It is the same amount of years no matter what. And usually there is a clause if you get out early. So just be completely aware about that. And I'm not saying don't ever pay your house off personally. I've actually put my house loan, because my house loan is only was only £45,000. I actually put that in my snowball method because it's not a huge figure. However, if my mortgage was like £180,000, then it would be a different story. I would start saving for my retirement after I paid off my debts, before I started putting as much money as I can towards my house. And the second thing I think that you should put aside for now, before all of this, I'm not saying don't do this at all, and I'm going to explain how I would recommend you do it, but one thing Dave Ramsey recommends is to put others' money as much as possible. So kind of give to charities and things like that. And I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you should never ever give to charity. What I'm saying is, if you are trying to pay off your debt, it is very inconvenient to give money to charity. And I know I'm going to sound like an absolute dick. However, I just think there is more beneficial ways that you could help charities, like volunteering at events, helping fundraise, bake some cakes for a sale that's going on locally, getting involved, giving blood, giving out soup. There are millions of ways you can volunteer to charities and give back to others. It doesn't have to be financially. And if you are financially messed up, which to be honest, I think everyone is, but if you are financially messed up and you are trying your goddamn hardest to pay off and get yourself in a great financial situation, paying towards charities, it shouldn't be in your budget. You should, if you want to give back to someone, you should be volunteering yourself. You should be getting involved in events. money isn't everything when it comes to charities. Yes, it is a huge thing because obviously they are relying on people's money, but there are people out there who actually are financially abundant, who can support the charities financially but won't get involved physically. So that is my opinion on Dave Ramsey. It is a very, very raw, blunt opinion of Dave Ramsey's method and how I adopt it and how I think you should adopt it, really, because it's working well for me, and I know things don't work well for everyone. The same thing doesn't work well for everyone. It's got to be different. But if you follow someone's plan to the T, it's not you and it's not your life. So give it a go. The main points that he does, his main method, is very, very handy. It works extremely well. But the rest of his rules are just a little bit wishy-washy. So please leave me your opinions down below on Dave Ramsey. I would love to know if you've been completely successful on his university course, or if you're thinking about his university course, if you found some troubles, what you think of his kind of situation and what you would actually say, Emily, no, I would adopt this as well. Please leave them down below so we can get the conversation started, and like and subscribe, because obviously that would really help me out and I do want to grow this channel. And I will see you next Wednesday for another budget saving video. Bye.